Cuba! It's me, Elian Habanero, episode 23 of The W.I.L.L.I.W Show. Lots of stuff to talk about today, folks. Remember, W.I.L.L.I.W stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. I'm so excited. Let's do Wrestling Show! Okay, so last night I watched the Raw Superstar Shakeup. Some good things and some bad things. My favorite thing was the Nia Jax Charlotte match. Now, a lot of times on Raw, I feel like they don't do too much. I really like this match. Charlotte has got to be like the best wrestler in the world right now. Did you see that crazy? She did like a moonsault, but it wasn't like the normal where like they catch them like this. It was like Nia Jax was back too far, so it was like a moonsaulting double back drop kick. It was insane. It looked so stiff, like it hurt them both so bad. And then I really liked that. Something I didn't like, I did not like the Seth Rollins promo with Kurt Angle. For one, Kurt Angle, I just want to see him wrestle. There's like 10 guys there that they can have a better match with, or he can have an awesome match with. Seth Rollins is just too like, please cheer me, like begging to be a babyface. And nothing really came of it, so it was just like, that's really what they're going to kick off the top of the 9 o'clock hour with, but it wasn't for me. I didn't mind the Miz and Sami Zayn match. That was really good. Like, I liked the finish because it was like, it looked like Maurice was just going to cost him, and then he actually got the roll-up, so it tricked me. I like being surprised because a lot of things are so predictable to me. I didn't like any of the tag team stuff. The only thing I liked as far as the tag team, like there was 2 tag matches, the 8-man and then just the normal tag match. The only thing I liked was that finish in the Revival New Day match where he did that. It's like the code breaker where the guy holds him up and then he hits the code breaker, and he did it to Xavier Woods, and then he like went on his forehead. It looked really brutal, but what a nice finish. It just came out of nowhere. That was really cool. The Roman Reigns Braun thing, that was pretty neat. But the thing that bothered me was they could have done it so much better, because it was like, you know how you see movies sometimes and like the cameraman, he sometimes watches those YouTube videos of like mistakes in movies. It was like they could have just cut it. When he threw him off the stretcher, you could see there was nobody on it, and then they also showed the stretcher was laying like this, and then when they cut back to Reigns, he was laying like this in the stretcher. It's like, really? The stretcher just decided to roll itself over there? They could have just like had it positioned in the same position, or not even showed it, just showed it falling off and didn't show where it landed. So the production on that could have been a lot better. I know they don't want to think anybody died, but they could have just, they could have patched that up and just made it way more believable. Roman Reigns, some well-deserved time off. I don't think that man's had time off since he had his surgery like 2 years ago. I think he had like a hernia surgery. So finally some guys, it's after WrestleMania, they're going to give him a break. I noticed Kofi is getting a break now with the whole broken ankle gimmick. So that was good. What else? What else did we see on there? Oh, the Miz and Maurice. We saw a lot of guys coming over from Raw and girls, and they didn't explain it, which, I mean, is good in a way so that it's just a surprise, but it's also like, they're on Raw now, like, no explanation given, like, why? Was there a trade? Like, I would have liked to see, like, Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan, like, in the negotiating, like, the NHL trade deadline, like, we're gonna trade you this guy for this guy, and this is why, but no, he's not quite good enough, so we'll throw in this guy. The Kurt Hawking things was ridiculous. Like, at least when he fought Dillinger, it was like a surprise guy coming out and a big pop. And then Big Show just comes out and does the knockout punch. What a waste of time that was. I didn't end up finishing the last match with Owens and Ambrose. So it was too tired. I got too long. So there's that. I also want to talk about Total Divas. Now, I kind of liked this show in the past. The only thing that bothers me about this is that it's not current with what's going on now. It's like 6 months behind, so everybody already knows what's happened. Well, most people anyway. I wish it was more current and it just like went into the storylines they were doing now. But I have to say, I'm surprised that they have Paige on there. Like, really, with all that's happened, I thought that they were just going to, like, edit her out of the show. So this makes me think that possibly Paige is going to make a return. Like, is she not going to be the most over girl on the roster when she comes back? Like, everybody loves her. Like, porn star Paige, are they gonna incorporate it? Is she gonna have some shirts? Like, I know back in the day they used to say China wouldn't be inducted into the Hall of Fame because of her her background in porn, and now it's okay. Like, I know they were private videos and stuff, and they got leaked, but still, like, you Google Paige, that's gonna come up. You know, Triple H's kids are gonna see that. So that's what I have to say about that. I also just want to say, like, sometimes women have wrestled men in the past, like Beth Phoenix and Chyna and Karma. They were in the Royal Rumbles, and Chyna won the Intercontinental belt. If there was ever a girl I would want to see wrestle the men, it would be Charlotte. She's got to be the best wrestler in the world right now. Like, who is better than her? Like, when she wrestles the girls, like, the girls are really good and stuff. Like, even Sasha's really good, but they just seem so, like, inferior compared to Charlotte. She looks like she should be, like, having matches with, like, Shinsuke Nakamura and, like Seth Rollins and, like, you know, these kind of guys. And I gotta say, I also, on Raw, thought, when I watched Finn Balor and Jinder Mahal, I like Jinder Mahal better than Finn Balor. Jinder looks like a beast. Did you see that forearm he gave him? Like, he looks really well, way better than the whole three-man band era and stuff like that. I think he deserves a real good push. I'd like to see him get like a good storyline and not just be a jobber. So then there's that. And I also want to talk the whole drama at the Rockpile. Now, the Rockpile is, like, I believe, like a nightclub in Etobicoke, Ontario, and they do, like, live bands, and they have stand-up comedy shows, and it's like a bar, and Death Proof Fight Club has been running there. They've done numerous shows there. Now, they have just started running Hamilton as well, but that's where they did Hamilton when they started in their garage days, but the last, like, year or two, that's been their home base. Now, some of the managers are, like, I don't know a lot of the people involved. The only person I really know is Warhead, and he and I go back a long way. Actually, funny story, about 12 years ago, my sister said she came and watched me wrestle at one of the PWA shows in Cambridge, and she said she thought Warhead was hot, and he was really cool, and he, like, painted his face, and he did, like, creative stuff, and I tried to set her up with them. Like, it didn't really work out, but they became friends. Like, so I almost became brother-in-law with Warhead. No, it wasn't that close, but, like, me and Warhead go way back. One time we wrestled in front of 7 people, including Gordo and Bingamans, and I generally agree with most of what he does. I mean, there's been some times I don't. Nobody's perfect. Some of the things he does I don't agree with, but, like, Death Proof, I like their niche of being different, and they come up with some real creative angles and just lots of shock value and things you don't see other places, but that's good for the other feds because they could just do their thing, and then, like, all the bases are covered in Ontario. You can get whatever you need in Ontario. So anyway, a new federation started up. I believe it's Championship Wrestling of Ontario, and they're running the Rockpile too. And, like, okay, it seemed like it'd be okay. And apparently there's a bunch of drama. Like, last night, I was very intrigued reading my Facebook about this. So much stuff, shots being thrown at each other, a lot of negative things being said. Now the fans know because it's all public, and like, even some death threats were issued and the police were called, and I really hope this is an angle. Like, the realistic storylines are the best, and you got that hot Bernadette chick, and I know she helps promote events at the Rockpile. I guess she's helping this new one, and she's always been cool to me too, and I'm pretty sure, like, the people I know, they all have good hearts. Maybe they've been hurt somewhat, but, like, they're all good people, and I think it'll all come together. Like, everyone's lashing out now, but I can see this working out for the good. Like, maybe there'll be a show down the line, like a best of 7, Death Proof versus these guys, in, like, whoever wins gets the rights to Rockpile. I was really happy to see Death Proof running Hamilton because I couldn't do the Sunday night shows in Etobicoke, but now they're running Saturday in Hamilton, and my ankle's almost healed, and I'm like, yes! Like, maybe if I send a message, there's a chance I can get booked on the Hamilton Death Proof shows. So I hope it all works out. This is a great angle. It has my attention, and if it's a touchy subject, sorry, but, like, if it's out there and I can read it, then, well, everybody can. So anyway, I hope this all works out, but I'm curious to see where it's going to go from here. Now this has been, oh yeah, and check out yesterday's episode. I did an episode on Ike Shaw, and I talked about him having a crap the size of a baby's head, and him trying to flush it and blood everywhere. So check that out. So anyway, this is episode 23 of The W.I.L.L.I.W Show, which stands for Wrestling is Life, Life is Wrestling. Remember, like, or you get a leg drop. Comment, or you get a clothesline. Subscribe, or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, Cuba!